Hello, folks. Thanks for checking out this supplemental episode of Confessions. And this episode will be part 5 in my Birth of Peace series. And it's called Creating an RPG That Players Cannot Break. This will be the final part in my Birth of Peace series. For anyone who is interested, I have completely written the work that will be the core rule book for Peace the RPG. It is being edited now. It includes 70 NPCs, 6 player races, 7 warrior builds, 6 magic user builds, 6 adventurer builds, 135 magic items, gear, GM tips, rules, setting information, and an adventure called The Heralded God. I intend to kickstart the game to fund illustrating the book to make it a complete work. That is the ultimate goal. The next step in the process is releasing a 280-page free basic edition that will allow folks to experience the game. It will have half the player races, warrior builds, adventurer builds, and the first 3 levels of the 10-level game. If response is good, I'll be releasing very inexpensive content updates, which will take the game to 5th level, including NPCs and magic items. Those are the plans. Look for the release of the basic edition of the game and the game's website in a couple of weeks from now, preceded by a preview of the 3 player races. With that out of the way, let me tell you why Peace the RPG is an unbreakable system. Now, that concept is a little cheeky, but I must be honest when I say that when it comes to conflicts, Peace is the closest thing to Unbreakable I've ever seen. It happened naturally because of what I was trying to achieve with the game. As I mentioned 4 articles ago, I wanted PCs to be able to wade into bunches of NPCs and have a good chance of surviving. That would require PCs to be able to make multiple attacks per turn. But I didn't want to just say at level X, you get X attacks each turn. I thought fixed numbers of attacks made systems more repetitive and predictable than they needed to be. I wanted the number of attacks you could make from turn to turn to be dynamic and determined somewhat by player strategy. The attack system also had to be simple. That is how I came up with attack points. In Peace, characters have 3 attack stats. You have warfare, influence, and power. Each attack stat has a defensive stat that opposes it. Warfare is opposed by defense. Willpower is opposed by influence, and resistance opposes power. Each turn, a player decides how his character is going to attack and rolls that attack stat. It's all D6s. And that generates the character's attack points. Now, during the round, each time the character can spend a number of attack points equal to the target's appropriate defensive stat, he can perform a damage check. That's how a character gets multiple attacks. It depends on which attack stat he's attacking with, who he's attacking, and how many points he has. I like the dynamic, non-predictable way that comes together. As a quick aside, attack points also give the player a resource to use to power his character's other abilities called talents. Last article, I talked about how the genesis of Peace did not come from some paradigm-shifting concept, but I do believe the attack point system is like nothing I've played in 30 plus years in the hobby. The damage check system is also elegant and unique. Damage checks happen after a character spends enough attack points against a target. The check is a 2d6 roll against a target number determined by a chart. The target number is determined by the level of the attacker and the target. So yes, the character's ability to affect a target is based on the participant's levels. Very elegant. I can see that system working for other games very easily. Attack stats are why I say Peace is unbreakable. Excuse me. No character can be amazing at attacking with and defending against all three forms of attack. A warrior, for example, can be good at warfare and okay with influence, but will probably be poor at defending against magic. A wizard will, of course, be great at attacking and defending against magic and okay with influence, but warfare will be a vulnerability. Those vulnerabilities can be tested and taken advantage of by the GM. My longtime friend Mike, the most proficient character builder I have ever played with, couldn't break the game. He made a frightening sword and board titan, half-giant warrior, who was almost impervious to physical attacks. All I had to do when I wanted to challenge him is put him up against a bunch of spellcasters. The system makes balancing conflict easy. Another interesting point is Peace does not have the attribute plus skill paradigm. The game uses 10 attributes, which are a mixture of what games would call attributes or characteristics, and some games would call skills. I think that makes the game a little out of the ordinary also. So those are the reasons that I say that Peace is unbreakable by players. Hopefully people will give this a try. If you have started this journey with me, I wanted to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I hope you check out the basic edition of the game and love it and continue the journey. If you're on Facebook, please like my page, Peace the RPG, to get updates. And I will, of course, through all of the social network channels that I am on, put up information about the basic edition that you'll be able to download for free. And thank you so much, and give Peace a chance. Thanks a lot for checking out this video. See you later.